Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment.
If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some keep getting?
Right.
Sean Diddy Combs, once the king of hip-hop and a cultural icon, now finds himself in one of the darkest chapters of his life. His fall from grace has been nothing short of shocking for fans and media alike. But behind the headlines and courtroom drama lies the story of a family torn apart by fear, betrayal, and heartbreak. While Diddy battles for his freedom inside the infamous walls of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, his family is grappling with an emotional storm, one that might leave scars that linger long after his trial.
So Diddy, if you're just joining us here, was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York tonight. Sources tell TMZ Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him.
Diddy's daughters have reportedly been the most affected by their father's arrest and incarceration. Sources close to the family claim that they've broken down multiple times, overwhelmed by the harsh realities of his current situation. They've grown up in the lap of luxury, shielded from the hardships of the world, but now they're being forced to confront a nightmare they never imagined. Witnessing their father's transformation from a confident, larger-than-life figure to a man visibly thinner and grayer has been devastating. During his most recent court hearing, Diddy was seen mouthing the words, "You okay?" to one of his sons, a moment that reportedly left his daughters in tears. It was a stark reminder of how fragile their once untouchable father now seems.
Incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent till proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent till proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent till proven guilty.
Insiders say that Diddy's daughters have been struggling to accept the idea that their father, the man who once ruled the music industry and built an empire, is now behind bars in one of the most notorious detention centers in the country. The family's Manhattan representatives have remained tight-lipped, but whispers from those close to the Combs circle suggest that the girls are not only heartbroken, but also terrified about what might happen to their dad. In private conversations, they've reportedly expressed concerns about his health, fearing that the stress of the situation could break him down completely. The fear isn't unfounded. Reports from the detention center have painted a grim picture of Diddy's life inside. The once vibrant mogul is said to have lost a significant amount of weight, and his health is rumored to be declining. Observers at his court appearances have noted his ashen complexion and gaunt frame, fueling speculation that prison life is taking a serious toll. And it's not just the physical change that's alarming, it's the mental strain. Diddy is allegedly refusing to eat prison meals, claiming he fears they could be contaminated or tampered with. This paranoia has only added to his family's anxiety, as they struggle to understand how the man who once seemed invincible is now consumed by fear.
Legitimate concern. No judge wants to wake up and read the headlines the next day. Oh, they treated this guy special and they gave him bond, and now he's gone and he fled from justice. So that's what's in the back of most judges' minds. On the other hand, we deal with cases where clients have significant funds sometimes, and sometimes where there's money, you can craft a unique solution. Years ago, it was the ankle bracelet and the ankle monitor.
Diddy's daughters are not the only ones feeling the pressure. The entire family is reportedly in turmoil, with tensions running high as they navigate the fallout of his arrest. Some family members are said to be rallying behind him, determined to protect his legacy and fight for his freedom, while others seem to be distancing themselves, wary of the damage his legal battles might bring to their own lives. Rumors have even emerged about disagreements within the family regarding his inheritance, with whispers that certain relatives are already discussing how his assets might be divided if the worst happens. This alleged infighting has only deepened the family's emotional wounds, creating a rift that may be impossible to heal. One source close to the family described the situation as a complete mess. They claim that Diddy's children, particularly his daughters, feel caught in the middle. On one hand, they want to believe in their father's innocence and support him unconditionally, but on the other, they're struggling to reconcile the shocking allegations with the man they've always known and loved. The emotional toll has reportedly led to sleepless nights, tearful arguments, and moments of doubt that have shaken the family to its core. Adding to their distress is the hostile environment Diddy now calls home. The Metropolitan Detention Center has been described by former inmates as hell on earth, a place plagued by violence, unsanitary conditions, and relentless psychological pressure. Reports of inmate altercations, power outages, and inadequate medical care have made headlines for years, and Diddy's family is well aware of the dangers he faces daily. According to sources, his daughters are terrified that something might happen to him inside, whether it's an act of violence or the long-term effects of the harsh conditions.
That with all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, it sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone. So
the fear of poisoning, which has reportedly led Diddy to avoid prison meals, has only heightened their concerns. While some may dismiss his worries as paranoia, those familiar with the detention center's reputation argue that his fears are not entirely unfounded. The facility has long been criticized for its lax security and the influence of outside connections, creating an environment where anything seems possible. Diddy's decision to rely on commissary snacks like chips and honey buns instead of consuming prepared meals has sparked debates within his family. Some see it as a necessary precaution, while others worry it's a sign that the stress is beginning to unravel him. But it's not just the external dangers that haunt Diddy's daughters, it's the thought of him suffering in isolation. The hip-hop mogul is reportedly being held in the special housing unit, a section of the jail designed for high-profile inmates. While it may offer an extra layer of security, it also means extreme isolation. Former inmates have described the experience as mentally draining, with little to no human interaction for days on end. For a man who built his career on charisma and connection, the loneliness must feel unbearable. His daughters, sources claim, have been struggling to come to terms with the idea of their father spending the holidays alone in a cold, sterile cell, far removed from the warmth of family gatherings.
He was I was 3 years old. I don't have a lot of memories of my father. They say, you can't miss something you never had. So that's only a little ways right, There's definitely been times as I've gotten older that I've missed my father.
The contrast between Diddy's lavish past and his grim present couldn't be starker. Just months ago, he was seen enjoying a carefree day in Central Park, playing hacky sack and basking in the adoration of fans. Now, he wakes up on a steel bed in an 8-by-10-foot cell, staring at cinder block walls and relying on a 1.5-inch mattress for comfort. The man who once had the world at his feet is now confined to a space smaller than his walk-in closet, a reality that's as shocking for his family as it is for his fans. The emotional weight of the situation has reportedly left Diddy's daughters questioning everything. They've grown up idolizing their father, seeing him as a symbol of strength and resilience, but now they're being forced to confront his vulnerabilities. Sources close to the family say the girls have been leaning on each other for support, often breaking down in private moments as they process the enormity of what's happening. Friends of the family have described the girls as heartbroken, but fiercely loyal, determined to stand by their father even as the world around them seems to crumble. Meanwhile, whispers of betrayal within the family have only added to the daughter's emotional burden. Rumors suggest that certain relatives, perhaps those less directly dependent on Diddy's fortune, are beginning to distance themselves from the scandal. Some are allegedly more concerned with protecting their own reputations than supporting him, a development that has reportedly caused tension during family discussions. The daughters, however, are said to be unwavering in their support, even as they face criticism from those who believe Diddy's legal troubles are too damaging to defend.
I thought Diddy would be throwing all his celebrity mates under the bus.
I mean, that could potentially be coming when it's time for court and when it's time for him to testify. But what we're seeing right now is how important public relations really are to Sean Combs. He's desperately trying to control the narrative behind bars, allowing his attorneys to do documentaries.
As the family navigates this emotional minefield, they're also grappling with the public scrutiny that comes with being associated with one of the most high-profile cases in recent memory. Every move they make, every word they say is dissected by the media and the public, adding another layer of stress to an already overwhelming situation. Insiders say that Diddy's daughters have been particularly affected by the relentless coverage, feeling as though their private pain is being turned into a spectacle for the world to consume. Despite the family's efforts to maintain a united front, cracks are beginning to show. The emotional toll of Diddy's incarceration, combined with the pressure of public scrutiny and the alleged infighting over his assets, has created a perfect storm of tension and heartbreak. The once close-knit family now finds itself at a crossroads, struggling to hold on to the bonds that have always defined them. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, the question remains, how long can Diddy's family endure this ordeal? Will the daughter's unwavering loyalty be enough to hold them together, or will the strain of their father's legal battles tear them apart? For now, they're clinging to hope, praying that the man they've always known as a fighter will find the strength to overcome the challenges ahead. But even as they hope for the best, the uncertainty of what lies ahead looms large. The toll of Diddy's incarceration is undeniable, and with his trial still months away, the family's emotional journey is far from over. As they prepare for the next chapter, one thing is clear. The story of Diddy's fall from grace is not just a tale of legal battles and public scandal. It's a deeply human story of love, loyalty, and the lengths a family will go to protect one of their own. Sean Diddy Combs' legal battle is growing more intense with each passing day, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Despite the overwhelming challenges, his legal team is working tirelessly to fight back against the allegations and the mounting public scrutiny. But the road ahead is riddled with complications, betrayals, and the weight of a legacy that hangs in the balance. While the courtroom drama unfolds, Diddy's fall from grace has sparked debates about power, privilege, and whether his empire can survive this storm. Diddy's legal team, composed of some of the most experienced attorneys in the country, has been relentless in their attempts to challenge the prosecution's case. Yet, the obstacles they face are monumental. The charges levied against him aren't just shocking, they're meticulously designed to paint Diddy as a calculated manipulator who abused his influence over decades. The prosecution has referred to his alleged actions as systematic, claiming that he used fear, coercion, and manipulation to get what he wanted. These accusations aren't just about Diddy's actions, they're about dismantling the image of a man who built himself into a global icon.
Today, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
But Diddy's lawyers have been quick to push back. They've described the case as a witch hunt, arguing that the allegations are exaggerated and meant to destroy his reputation rather than deliver justice. A source close to his team has claimed that much of the evidence brought forward lacks credibility and relies heavily on hearsay. This is not about truth, it's about sensationalism, the source stated, suggesting that the prosecution is using Diddy's fame as a weapon against him. One of the most contentious points in the case has been the government's handling of evidence. Diddy's defense team has repeatedly accused prosecutors of leaking information to the media, creating what they describe as a trial by headlines. A key example of this was their claim that surveillance footage, allegedly tied to Diddy's past actions, was leaked to a major. While the court ultimately ruled there wasn't enough evidence to prove this leak came from the prosecution, the damage was already done. The headlines alone fueled public speculation, making it even harder for Diddy's team to argue their case without bias.
Well, Sierra, anything's possible, right? But now this judge has an even harder time, I think, because the past judge locked him up, didn't let him out, and he's still there available for trial. If the new judge lets him out on bond and something goes wrong, and this isn't the analysis that I'm proud to make, right? We shouldn't be saying, well, judges are worried about their own skin and how they look if something bad happens.
Diddy's lawyers have also raised questions about the motivations behind the allegations. They've pointed to the timing of the charges, suggesting that some of his accusers might have ulterior motives, including financial gain or opportunities for public attention. While these claims remain unverified, they've added another layer of complexity to an already contentious case. What's certain is that this isn't just a legal fight. It's a battle for public perception. Beyond the courtroom, the media frenzy surrounding the case has grown into a beast of its own. News outlets, blogs, and social media platforms have turned every development into a spectacle, dissecting Diddy's life with relentless scrutiny. From his appearance in court to the statements made by his legal team, every detail has been picked apart and debated. And while some fans have rallied behind him, others have been quick to turn their backs, calling this a reckoning long overdue. Adding to the pressure is the way Diddy's once glamorous lifestyle is being contrasted with his current reality. Just a year ago, he was jet-setting between his Miami mansion and Los Angeles properties, throwing extravagant parties attended by the biggest names in entertainment. Today, he's confined to a small, bleak cell in a detention center, infamous for its harsh. The man who once inspired millions with his resilience and drive now finds himself in a fight to prove his innocence, his empire crumbling under the weight of allegations that threaten to erase everything he's built. But Diddy isn't just fighting for himself, he's fighting to protect his legacy. His brand, which spans music, fashion, and spirits, has always been synonymous with success and ambition. Now, the very name Diddy carries a cloud of controversy, and the business empire he's spent decades building is on shaky ground. Partners and investors are reportedly distancing themselves from him, wary of the backlash that comes with his legal troubles.
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the shoe have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there.
In fact, just months after his arrest, Diddy made the decision to step down as the chairman of Revolt, the television network he co-founded. While his representatives insisted this was a temporary move, insiders speculated it was a calculated effort to shield the brand from the controversy. Revolt issued a statement framing the decision as one made to ensure the network stays focused on its core mission. But industry experts couldn't ignore the timing. This was no small blow to Diddy's influence. Revolt had long been one of his proudest accomplishments, a platform he championed as a voice for the culture. Losing his leadership role at such a critical time only added to the perception that his empire might be unraveling. And then there's the question of how Diddy's legal troubles are impacting his relationships within the industry. While some of his longtime allies have remained silent, others have subtly distanced themselves, offering no public support as the case unfolds. This lack of solidarity has sparked rumors of betrayal, with some insiders suggesting that business interests are taking priority over personal loyalty. A source close to the situation revealed that the phone calls have stopped coming, implying that many of Diddy's former friends and collaborators are choosing to stay far away from the controversy.
Did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
But perhaps the most heartbreaking part of this saga is how it's affecting Diddy's family. While his daughters are undeniably struggling with their father's plight, his sons are facing their own emotional battles. King Combs, who has followed in his father's footsteps as a hip-hop artist, was recently photographed leaving the courthouse after a pretrial conference. The expression on his face spoke volumes. Part determination, part sorrow, and perhaps even a hint of disbelief. For a family that has always presented itself as united and strong, the cracks are beginning to show, and the weight of this ordeal is becoming impossible to ignore. Even with the family's support, rumors persist that Diddy's inner circle is shrinking. Some speculate that his legal troubles have left him feeling isolated, with fewer people he can truly trust. A former associate who once worked closely with Diddy described the situation as a lonely fall from the top. They added, "When everything's going great, everyone wants to be around you. But when things go wrong, you start to realize who's really in your corner." As the trial date approaches, the pressure is mounting on all sides. Diddy's lawyers are working around the clock to craft a defense that can withstand the prosecution's aggressive approach. Meanwhile, the public's fascination with the case shows no signs of waning. Every new development, no matter how small, is met with a flurry of reactions, from outrage to sympathy to outright disbelief. For Diddy, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about avoiding a conviction. It's about holding on to the empire he spent his entire life building. It's about proving to his family, his fans, and himself that he's more than the allegations against him. But with his reputation already in tatters and his resources stretched thin, the question remains, can Diddy win this fight, or will this be the end of an era? Share your opinions in the comments below. Until next time, stay tuned for more celebrity gossip and intriguing stories.